رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، then as always, we'll give it a few minutes for people to join the room. We are continuing in our reading of Qur'anic vocabulary words, just trying to cover those which are covered most often. Just a quick reading, taking us through the majority of words, or at least the majority percentage-wise, as this book, which we started to do after we had started another book, but we found in it mistakes as well as we feared copyright infringement. So we're just trying to see what we don't know. So these 500-600 words, whatever is in here, 500 words was giving us 73%. This book gives us 83%. So it might be a few more than 500, but these 550, 600 words, they appear in the Quran 66,000 times, I believe it said. 66,000 times out of 77,000 words, something along those lines. Whatever you don't know from this word list, these 500 or 600, then you have to study those. Study them. Look them up, find out where they're at in the Quran, different ayat. Get a Quran app. I use Quran Explorer. It allows you to search. It allows you to search the word exactly. It allows you to search the word by its root. In any case, yesterday we reached 192 words. And it was 40-some% of the Quran. I think 45.4% or something like that. Today, I don't know how far we're going to get. Maybe we do about 100 words, or who knows. طيب. Everyone can hear me fine? And I just want to reiterate while I'm waiting for people to tell me if they hear me or not. I just want to reiterate that this is something you can do on your own. I don't claim to be some scholar of Qur'an or tafsir. This is something you could do on your own, but maybe my few explanations can help a little bit, as well as just having the accountability of being here every day. Okay, let's look at this first column on the left where it says prophets and. The first two words for us are Rasul and Rusul. Rasul being messenger, Rusul being messengers, the plural. And it appears 332 times between these two forms, Rasul and Rusul, 332 times in the Quran. I think we know this whole first column with no problem. Nabi, prophet. It can also be Nabiyun, Nabiyin, or Anbiya. You can have those three. Nabiyun is the plural. Nabiyin is also the plural, but just in the accusative or subjunctive form, meaning mansub or majrur. And Anbiya is another broken plural for Nabi. all of them. Like we have Rusul, we have Nabi, Nabiyun, Nabiyin, Anbiya. And this word appears 75 times in the Quran in these 4 different forms. The next are names of the prophets. In this 137 on the side here is how many times the word or the names Adam, Nuh, and Ibrahim appear all together. Right? Adam, Nuh, and Ibrahim. Each of them have their own time. I think Adam is 26. I don't know how many times Noah is mentioned, and Ibrahim is much more. But together, those 3 names are 137 times. If you want to know exactly, then this is good homework for you. It's good homework for you. Maybe, inshallah, I will try to put in the link below in the description once this video is done. There's a website where it has a word count. It was shared to me by the sister from Albania. Although I had found it, but when she sent it to me, then I looked at it in a different way. Also, you know, the Quran Explorer app, like I said, where you can go and you can look at this. If you want a book, there's a book called المعجم المفهرس للقران الكريم by Fawad Abdul Baqi, and it's something you might want to get. It just brings every root of a word and then how it appears in that root. For instance, sami'a, and then you'll have, you know, sami'tu, sami'ti, sami'at, sami'u, whatever forms you find in the Quran and how many times it appears and where. A complete breakdown basically of every word in the Quran. It's a big book. It's 1 volume, but 1 big, tall, and thick book. Anyway, Adam, Noah, Ibrahim. Then we have Lut, Ismail, Ishaq, Yaqub, who is also Israel, Yusuf, Hud, Hud, Shu'aib, Saleh, Musa, and Isa ibn Maryam. Amongst these, you know, names, they appear in that many times on the right. Then we have, below that, we have Shaitan and Shayateen. Shaitan, the plural, Shayateen. Yeah. No problem. Give me 1 second. I'll type it and put it on the screen. Give me 1 second. More. Jim al-Mufahris. If it's a little bit different than this, but if you search for it, the Fuad Abdul Baqi. Give me 1 second. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll leave it up there for a minute, inshallah. What's it say here? No problem. The next word we have is shaitan and shayateen. Shayateen, the plural of shaitan. Fir'aun, Ad, Thamud, right? Ad and Thamud. Ad are the people of Hud. Thamud are the people of Saleh. Next set of words are like related to ayat. Allah's ayat, his signs. Ayat appears 382 times. And again, this word list didn't count Allah, the name Allah Azza wa Jal, which appears 2,000 and sometimes in the Quran. Ayat, bayinat, if it's plural. Evidence, bayina or bayinat. It could also mean clear, manifest, evident, depending on how it's used in the sentence. Evident, clear, manifest. It can also just mean evidence or signs, clear signs. Qur'an. Qur'an means the book. It also means the reading or the recitation. That's where it comes from, Qur'an. The next word, an'am, which is cattle, camels, cows, sheep, goats. Jabal, jibal, mountain. Another word that we have for mountain, you can write it down. It might come later in here. Tor. Also, I'll just do it with my pen. I wonder if the cat took it. Here it is. Tor was mountain. Also, we had the word rawasi. Rawasi really means firmly planted, not necessarily mountains, but it's referring to mountains. And then we have bahar, which is sea, or also could be ocean or large river. Also, other signs: shams, the sun; qamar, the moon; layl, night; nahar, day; ard, the earth; sama, samawat, sky; sama, samawat. If the previous one we had was 45.4, then these words themselves are 3.5% of the Quran. They appear 2,729 times altogether. And they make up 3.5% of the Quran. So just this page alone gives you 3.5%. And of course, I'm just basing my statement off of what we're having here. You know, it's not my own research or anything. I'm just basing it off what we see in these percentage and total words at the bottom here. But assuming that these counts are correct, then this page equals 3.5%. And I don't think there's any problem with any of these words. Shams, wal qamar, wal layl, wal nahar. All of these names of prophets and countries and Ad, Thamud, right? People, Rasul, Nabi. I think all these are pretty clear. Maybe the most difficult one might be Bayinat. Allah knows best. And then maybe An'am, just people to get used to that. Other than that, they should all be pretty easy. This next page, things related to the last day. Yawm al-Akhir. Sahib, ashab, companion, companions, people of. Right here it says fellows, inhabitants, ashabul jahim. They might not say the companions of the hellfire. They might say the inhabitants. No problem. Right? The word companion means someone who you're with all the time. If you're just seen with someone sometimes or just once or, you know, once or twice a year, that's not your companion. But someone who you're seen with every day, this is your companion. So when you say companion of the fire, companion of Jannah, paradise, this means someone who's going to be there. He's an inhabitant. He's someone who's there. Sahib, ashab. Aqibah. Aqibah is the end. The end. The end of things. Aqibatul umur, the end of affairs. Right? Aqibah, the end. Adhab is torment or punishment. Iqab is also punishment or chastisement. Here it says as a result of a sin. What's the difference between adhab and iqab? Let's look it up. Who remembers what I would type in? Okay, here, and this is Allah knows best. This is just using the answer that Google gives me when I search it. It's not necessarily the correct thing, but we can look it up later. I see a couple videos that address it. It says that iqab is something that happens quickly, right? And it can happen in this dunya related to a sin, right? Sari al iqab, meaning Allah will punish you or chastise you quickly due to a sin, whereas adab is more general and it includes the hereafter. And it can be related to taking revenge and so on. And it doesn't have to be necessarily for a sin or a specific sin. And Allah knows best, but I'll look it up anyway. Something for us to look at. If you want to know how, then you would type, for example, 2 words. We have a word here and a word here. We're trying to look up al-farqu bayna wa. And if you have 3 words, you could do this. They all kind of mean the same. Al-farqu bayna. If we just here, we only have 2. So we say adab wa iqab. Right? And then when you look that up, you'll find articles. These are things that even Arabs ask. So you'll find an article about it. Right? Al-farqu bayna wa. طيب, adab, iqab, qiyamah. Qiyamah has to do, I always say, the day of standing for judgment, which is the day of resurrection, right? Most people just translate it as the day of resurrection, but the day of resurrection to me is not scary. When I say the day of resurrection, the word resurrection doesn't necessarily instill fear in me or worry or stress. Whereas if I say the day of standing for judgment, meaning you'll be standing until it's your turn to be judged. You know, how long are you going to be standing? Hopefully you'll be standing in the shade of Allah on the day there will be no shade except His. And it gives me a different view of the day. Liqa means meeting. Liqa, meeting. Musamma, meaning fixed or appointed. And I used to say, and I still do a little bit, say like something which is named, you know, it's specified, an appointed day, a specified day, right? If you say students, then, you know, it's not musamma. Or if I say masau, now he's specified, he's named, he's appointed or a fixed student. Nar is fire. Nahar and har is river, rivers. Wail, woe unto, doomed. It also is a valley in the hellfire. So wailu, li, doomed is he, or this valley in the hellfire is for these people. Yom, ayam, day, days. Yawma'idhin, on that day, meaning yawma'idhin means that day. And we had that a lot, 70 times at least in the Quran. Abadan, meaning forever or ever. It can also have the context of never, depending on how it's used in the sentence. It can also mean never. Ajr, ujur is reward. Ajr and ujur is reward. Ajal means a term. It means a specified term. It can also mean your lifespan. فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلَهُمْ. So when their lifespan has come, meaning the end of their lifespan has come. Al-akhirah, the hereafter. Alim, painful. Thawab is reward. Thawab is reward. Now, you want to know the difference? Look it up. Ma farqu bayna ajr wa thawab. Look it up. Try to find it. And then, if you don't understand what's said to you, type in that or copy and paste the answer. You got an answer that comes up to you. Copy and paste the answer into ChatGPT and tell it to translate it for you. It's not going to be 100%, but it'll be helpful. It'll give you an idea. It'll be helpful. طيب. Where are we at? Jahim is hellfire. It's one of the names of the hellfire. Jaza, reward or recompense. The reason I don't like to say reward is because to us in English, reward means good. But, you know, we can use it and to mean not good. His reward is I'm going to punch him in his head, for example. We might say something like that. But it's not really a reward. It's his recompense. It's the result of his actions, right? So reward, jaza, can be good or bad, whereas ajr and thawab are both good. But if you wanted to, you could type in ma farqu bayna ajrun wa thawabun wa jaza. You don't understand it? Copy, paste it, put it in ChatGPT. This is active learning. Since we're not in class all day, every day, this is how you can do it. Hisab, reckoning, accounting, the day of accounting, the day of reckoning. Sa'a, hour. Hour. It can mean the hour, the day of resurrection. It could be sa'atun min an-nahar, just an hour or part, a time period of the day. It doesn't mean 60 minutes, each minute having 60 seconds. That's a new construction, right? Sa, an hour. These words appeared 2,048 times. And where were we last time? 48.9. Carry the 16 gives us 7. We have 0, 52.7. 2.7% on this page. Good? Are we good to keep moving? This should give us about 48 words so far today. We can call it quits if this is too much, but I think most of these words we should know. Allah knows best. طيب. Page 11. This first left column matters to do with the deen. It says Amr and umur, meaning matter or fair. Affair, matter or affair, matters, affairs for amur. Amr can also mean command, depending on the context. Command, it's an amr, it's a command. Taqwa, here, piety, fear, protection, right? As we said, to place a barrier between you and the punishment of Allah, right? That will protect you from the punishment of Allah. And when you do so, that means you fear Allah, and that will make you pious. All of it's related. Haqq, truth, true, and it can be right. It can mean the right thing, right? There's the truth, it's right. Batil, the opposite of haqq, falsehood. Hikmah, wisdom. Wisdom. Many times it means wisdom, but when it says al-kitab wal-hikmah, then it can mean, or it does mean, the sunnah. When it says al-kitab wal-hikmah, then it means the sunnah. It means wisdom still, but the sunnah. Hamd is praise. Deen can mean religion. And if you see in these semicolons here, it can also mean law, or it can also mean judgment, like Yom ad-Din, the day of judgment. So it's just context. Zakat, here to say poor due or charity. However, I don't like to translate it, just zakat. It's difficult to translate. I guess that's why I don't like it. Shaheed, someone who's witness, the plural, shuhada. Shaheed, shuhada, a witness, or something that is present. Al-Mughaybi wa shahada. He's the knower of the unseen and the seen, that which is present, that which you can see. Shaheed, shuhada, salat, mubin, clear, self-expressive, come from the same word up above, bayinat, meaning clear, manifest. Nur, light. If there's anything in here, let me know if we need to stop. Hopefully you print this out. It's only how many pages? Only 43 pages. You print it back to back, it's 22 sheets of paper. You don't have to print it in high quality print. You can print it in draft, grayscale. The point is you got the word on the paper so you can write on the paper. Those that you don't know, you can highlight. You can go get an ayat for it. You can use your app account. You can do whatever you want to do. And you have the paper. And you got these margins on the side and top and bottom. You can use it. Or you can print it on one side and then you have a whole nother piece of paper next to it that you can, write on. Ahadun or ahad means one or one of. Can mean one or one of. Ihda would be for feminine, one of a group of feminine things, right? Or inanimate objects. Ihda. Alhamdulillah, you got the book. Alhamdulillah. Ilah, aliha, God, gods, deity, deities. Sharik, shuraka, partner, partners. It doesn't have to be shirk, but it's usually used in that context. Sharik, if I had a sharik in my business, no problem. If I have a sharik in my worship, then that's a problem. But if I have a sharik in my construction company, no problem. If I have shuraka, no problem. as long as they're in something from the dunya. We ourselves need help. Maybe we're good at building, but we're not good at managing. We're good at, putting the money up so we can buy it, but we can't build it or manage it. Like I said, Allah can do all of that. So he doesn't need a sharik. Allah doesn't need a sharik. He can create, own, and manage perfectly all three characteristics, unlike us, right? So Allah doesn't need a sharik or shuraka. Shahada, we said witness. It could be testimony. We say shahada, say the shahada, say the testimony of faith, say the witness, the witness of faith, or it could be the thing which is witnessed. Like we said, alimul ghaibi wa shahada, that which is witnessed, that which is seen, as opposed to not seen by us. Arsh is the throne. Here, ahd should not be unseen. This is definitely Allah's best mistake. Ahd should just be a covenant or something like that. I don't know why it would be say is something unseen here. Ahd is a contract or a oath or a covenant or a pact, right? Ghaib is something unseen or hidden, not ahad. And Allah knows best. I can't think of a time where ahad means something hidden. This is a covenant, a pact. If someone else has anything different, let me know. But I don't know of anything, a pledge, right? A treaty, whatever you want. There's a number of words, pledge, treaty. But I don't know if it to mean unseen or hidden. Kitab, kutub, book, books. Kalima, word. And like we said, when we talked about how many huruf are in the Quran, kalima can also mean sentence, right? Like kalimat al-shahada or shajaratun tayyibatun, kalimatun tayyibatun mithla shajaratin tayyibatin. What's the kalimat tayyiba? La ilaha illallah. That's not one word. It's a phrase or a sentence. So it can mean word and it can also mean sentence. Malak, malaika, Malak with a fatha. With a kasra, it means owner. Or king. With a kasra, it would mean king. If I say Malik, Malik, it's king. If I say Malik with a dagger aleph, or if I write it like this, then it means owner. But Malik with a fatha is angel. With a kasra, it's king. Just making sure. Mithaq is close to ahad that we had above. Again, if you want, you can type al-farq baynu ahadun wa mithaqun and see what it says. Wahid, wahida, also one. Wahid if it's male, the thing that you're counting or that you're talking about. Wahida if it's female. These make 1,557%. We were at 51.6. So this is this is just 2%. These words on this page are 2%. Are there any problems with any of these words? Somebody tell me, how many words have we written down today, or circled or highlighted? Now, I know everybody in the world doesn't have the money for everything, but you should try to have a home printer. They're pretty cheap nowadays, if at all possible. Have your home printer, so when you see something you need to print it out, you can print it out, if at all possible. Maybe you live in a country where it's easy to just go to somewhere and they print it for you, a copy shop or something like that. If that's the case, fine. But sometimes the copy shop's not open and you need a copy. Abdullah says he's got 10 today, mashallah. Tayyib, 10, that's good. Because so far, I think we've had 72. So if you've only written down 10, that's good. That's good. That's excellent. It's maybe 15%, something like that. But it means you know 85% of the words. MashaAllah. Roughly. Tayyib. Let's go here. Deeds. A'mal. The singular would be amal. Amal wa a'mal. Actions, deeds, works. Right? Hasana, hasanat. Hasana is good. Hasanat, plural. Sayya, sayyat, evil or bad deeds. Evil, bad, and then deeds. It don't always have to be. It could be used as an adjective and mean good something or evil something. No problem. But a lot of times, especially when it says hasanat, sayyat, it means deeds. Good deeds, bad deeds, evil deeds. Khair and shar. These are two words that we said as they are the standard form, which I don't know what you would call it, and they're also the superlative. Right? So khair means good, better, and best. Means good, better, and best. Right? Khair means good, better, and best. Likewise, shar means bad or evil, worse, and worst. Right? Good, better, best. And we can throw in here worst. So it's just on the context. Khair, good, better, best. Shar, evil, worst, worst, or bad, worst, worst. Itham, sin. Dhanb, sin. Junah, sin. What are we going to do? Dhanb also has dunub as plural. Right? And these other words have plurals, but they don't appear in the Quran. So therefore, there's no need to mention them right now. Right? Atham and junah, I don't know what the plural is. What we're going to do, what's the difference? We're going to look up al-farqu bayna ithm wa dhanb wa junah. We don't understand what it says to us in Arabic. We're going to copy and paste it in the chat GBT or whatever other AI you use and tell it to translate it for you. Haram, we know what that is, unlawful. Or it can also mean sacred, like Masjid al-Haram. It's haram to kill inside of it, to fight inside of it. Haram to pick its plants, to hunt, so on. It's haram. It's sacred. But just everything haram is not sacred. Right? Everything unlawful is not sacred, but basically everything sacred has something unlawful to it. Allah knows best. Ism, asma, name, names. Hadith, a hadith. It can mean speech, discourse. It can also mean story. or yeah, something like story or news. هل أتاك حديث موسى? Has there come to you the news of Musa, the story of Musa? طيبة, طيبات, طيبة meaning good, طيبات, plural, can I mean lawful? Does not let me write. Not let me write now. Why is that? Anyway, good, طيبة, طيبات can also mean lawful and halal. أظن جملة الذنب أيضا ذنوب فتح على ذا جمع مو جمعة but جمع. Yeah, ذنب ذنوب. I don't think it's with a fatah on the thou for the jam. Let's look. In a second. Dhanb dhunub. If we look in the Quran. In the dictionary, it says no. But let's look here. In the Quran. Dhunub with a dhamma on the thou. Dhunub. Not dhanub, but dhunub. As it appears in the book. It's correct. In the Quran, it's dhunub. It appears 28 times in the Quran. Dhunub. Dhunub appears 28. And dhanb, let's see if our count is looking good. Says 11. Let's see exactly. With other roots and stuff, it's even more. But this is from roots. Dhanb and dhunub. Altogether, it says 39. Here it says 37. There could be some reason why it's not, why there's a discrepancy. طيب, طيبة, طيبات, good. Singular and plural could also mean lawful and halal. Check the end of the dhariyat. See dhariyat. Ayat 59. Yeah, but that's a different dhanub is a different. It doesn't mean sin. Here, dhalama dhanuban. Dhanub here means a portion of something. Right? Dhanub here means a portion of something. It's not the same. فَإِنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا ذَنُوبًا. Right? For those who did wrong, فَإِنَّ لِلَّذِينَ, for indeed those who did wrong, who were unjust, ذَنُوبًا. They will have dhanub, not sins. Right? They will not have sins. They will have dhanub, which is an evil portion or something. مثل الذنوب أصحابهم, like the portion that came, like the portion of their companions. فَلَا يَسْتَعْجِلُونَ, and they will not be able. Dhanub is different than dhunub. And likewise, if you want to look it up, you could say al-farqu bayna dhanub and dhunub, and you could put the vowel on the thal, tha and thu, and see what it tells you. If you don't understand it, you can cut and paste it into AI and tell it to translate. Previously, we had 53.6. My pen is not allowing me to write for something. Maybe the battery's getting bad on me. Let's see. I'll take them out and put them back. Anyway, 53.6 gives us 1.3% on this page. 1.3%. 1,064 times. Every page is a little less. Every page is a little less. These words are appearing less and less times. Ah, that worked when I took the batteries out. So we got 1.3%. Right? Yesterday we had 45.4. So we're at about 9.5% so far. The words we've done today, which are, I think, 96 words. I think 96 words so far. They make up almost 10%. Y'all want to do one more page? These are family members. These are family members and body parts. When you get here, you can, in your notebook, draw a little, not detailed figure. And then you can put wajh, ras, yad, rijl, button. Make yourself a little chart, ayn, so on. Point to it. Make it big, but try not to be too detailed. If you end up drawing an eye, and try not to put the English. Try not to put the English. Ayn. Right? Try not to put the English. Just do it by picture. That way you're no longer translating. When you see an eye, you'll say ayn. You won't say I. You won't look at the picture, then say I, then ayn. You'll just see it and say ayn. Okay, umhat, mother, mothers. Mother, mothers. Ab, abati, abati. Abba is plural of ab. Abati means my father. Abati means my father. This one here. It's a term of endearment. That's how you would say it. You wouldn't say ab. You can say abi, my dad. Right? You can say my dad, abi, or you abati. That's like my dear father. Right? Zoj can be wife or husband. It means your counterpart, your spouse. Azwaj, rajul, rijal, man, men. Imra'a, nisa. This is one of those things you learn in the beginning. You're like, man, there is no, like we see rajul, rijal, we see rajim, lam, imra'a, and all of a sudden noon, seen, hamza. Where'd that come from, right? There is no plural for imra'a. From its root, it is nisa. Women. Right? Woman, women. Imra'a, nisa. Walad, olad, walad, son or child. Olad, children. Walid, with an alif and a kasra on the lam versus the fatha on the lam. Walid means father. Walidain, not two fathers, although that's how you might translate it. It means the parents. Walidain, the parents. Mother would be walida. Walida for mother. And then the two of them together, walidain. Or in Arabic, and this is not in the Quran, abawain. Abawain. The two fathers. No, not two fathers. The two parents, right? Just like walid, walidain, right? The two parents. Dhurriya, children or descendants. Dhurriya. Ibn, son, son of. Right? Ibn, son of. Banoon, banin, abna is the plural of ibn, sons. Akh, akhu, akha, akhi, all those forms. Brother, akh. In English, a lot of Americans, what's up, akh? But that's bad etiquette to say, what's up, akh? You don't just say, what's up, bruh? That's what it's like, you know? What's up, brother? We should not be, you know, harsh with one another, clapping hands, and, you know, when we give five, what's up, bruh? No, we should be gentle with one another. But that's not our nature in the West. Ach, achu, acha, achi, that's better. To say achi, my brother. Ikhwan is plural. Ikhwan is the plural of brother. Now we have body parts that mass out. We shouldn't help him. We shouldn't help Mass out because we asked him to tell us about his name and he was missing that day on us. So we shouldn't help him. No, I'm just playing. You have to draw a chart. You have to draw a chart. You have to pull out an anatomy book or something and write the names on it and just practice it. Wajh, wujuh, wajh, wujuh. Face. Ain, a'yun, eye, and it can also mean spring, like a spring of water, a small river, spring. Ain, a'yun, oyun is another way. Oyun. Right? Absar is sight or vision. Sometimes they translate it as eyes because that's where it comes from, just depending on the context, trying to make things smooth. Afwah, afwah, mouths, the plural of fu. Fu. Afwah. Lisan, alsina. Lisan, alsina, tongue, tongues, or language. The word lugha in classical books means dialect because they use lisan to mean language, whereas we use lugha to mean language today, and we use ammiya or darija or whatever for dialect, right? But lisan can mean the tongue. What's your mother tongue? What's your mother language? Alsina, tongues. Qalb, qulub, sadr, heart. Qalb, qulub, heart. Sadr, sudur, could be breasts, chest. And sometimes they translate it as heart because that's what they mean, that place of your heart. Yed, ad, hand, hands. Rijlun, arjul, rijl, arjul. Foot, feet. Nafs, anfus, could be soul, souls, or it could be also person, persons. It can also, it just means, person, persons. Every person will have every soul will have. Depends on the context. Same thing though. You're not really a person once you die. Once your soul leaves you, you're just a corpse. You're not really a person anymore. You don't have the same thing. Ruh, your spirit. It's also soul. It can also be Jibril. Right? It can also mean Jibril. And quwwa, strength, power, ability. Tayyib. From this page, what did we have? 54.9. We didn't really jump on this page. 54.9, which is basically 1.9%. These words appear 1,482 times. But from our chart, we're going to stop here. We're at almost an hour, and we had 45.4, and now we're at 56.8, which gives us 11.4% today. And I think we did 5 pages, which would give us 120 words. if we did 5 pages. See, 13, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We had 5 pages at 24 words a page. It's 120 words. And 11 something percent, we said, right? 11.4%. Any questions about what we did today? Is it too fast? Comments, suggestions? If we had, what did we say we had yesterday? 192 words. This gives us 312 words today. God job. What does that mean? Good job, brother. I understand. Good job. So far we got 312 words in 4 days. Clear as mud. MashaAllah. That, I don't know if you're that reflects on me or what. I don't know. 312 words at 56.8%. Yeah, we'll slow down when we get to the verbs, I'm sure. We'll talk about it more. I don't know how much we can slow down except to bring examples, but this is just kind of review. We've already gone through these words. You know, we've already gone through these words. And they've repeated a lot of times to the point where it almost 60% of the Quran. And we've taken only 300 words. So this shows how much they have been repeated over and over and over. You know, 77,000. Just say 78,000 words. 50% of that is what is that? 39,000. So this is a little bit more than that. This is probably these 312 words appear 40,000, 41, 42,000 times in the Quran. That's how many words we've gone over. 40 some thousand words out of these 312. You know? So if you take, just say 40,000 divided by 312. You know, you got 1 there, 312. And what's that give me? 88. And just say 2 there. That gives me 624, which gives me 256. You know, so this will fit in there about 8 times. So it means each of these words appears at least 128 times on average. And that's not counting the name of Allah. You know? So I don't know how much really to do except go through examples. There's another book similar to this. Inshallah, maybe I'll try to put it in the description as well. It's 85% of the Quran, and it has a workbook with it. Each book is a couple hundred pages. If this wasn't something extra, then I would have said, let's go through that book. But I also want to try to do the Asbab al-Nuzul, right? But there's a workbook where you can go through. How many words are in the Quran, counting each one just once, meaning how many individual words. Whereas if we don't count Ikhwan 22 times, we only count it once. I want to say I don't know, but they say something like 3,000 and some roots. 3,000 and some roots. But these numbers are kind of iffy to me. I don't understand how they're working all the time. They use legume. I don't even know what a legume is. I don't know how to understand that. So anyway, if you look at this book, I'm gonna put in the description of this video. It's 85% of the Quran. It's like almost 300 pages. And then there's a workbook that goes with it. And the workbook will help you figure some of this stuff out, right? You can do that on your own time. This for us is just review. So maybe that'll be explained in there to be clearer to you, inshallah. طيب, I'm going to let you guys go here. We're at 56.8% of the Quran. We did 120 words today at 1,100 or at 11.4%, right? 11.4% of the Quran. And I think we're moving along and hopefully it's helping us out. Jazakumullahu khairan. As always, any questions, just put it in the comments on the video or WhatsApp me or email me. No problem. Barakallahu fikum. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.